Maybe now. Now it's working. All right, what up, Parker? Good question, man. Let's see. So, your question about inequalities. I have that same one copied here. And I super agree, whenever that whole, like, the flipping of the sign thing happens, it's super annoying, and I always forget it, so I had to look it up just to double check. This was the inequality you had. And I'm going to change my color over here. I love green. So whenever I think about inequalities, especially solving or multi-step inequalities, it's really just kind of the same thing as an equals is what I think. So for the most part, I just take that inequality sign and I pretend it's an equal sign for right now. That same trick, draw a line down the middle, and our big goal is trying to get all the m's to one side and all the numbers to the other side, so that we eventually have just one variable, one m, equals some number. So the steps that they did, and again, there's all kinds of different ways to do this. Math is cool like that, is we always do opposites to move stuff over. So if I want to get rid of this 95 over here, the opposite of adding is subtracting. So we do that from both sides, numbers to numbers. So those cancel out and we get 8m less than. We still have that negative 87m right there. 5 minus 95, negative 90. Boom. So now we got our numbers over here on the right, so we have to move our m's to the left. So same trick, I've got negative 87m. I'm subtracting it, so the opposite of subtracting is adding. So I'm going to add 87m over here. Those cancel out. I'm going to do it to the other side as well. Plus 87m. 8m plus 87m becomes 95m. Less than, we just got this negative 90. Negative 90. So that was kind of the two steps. We got all of our m's on one side, all the numbers on the other. Our last step is to get just the m by itself. So this is saying 95 times n, so we're going to divide both sides by 95. Or another way to write that, which is I think more the usual one that they did as well. Oop, that's not my subtract. Ah, wrong button. They usually use fractions. I'll do the same. 95m, they're going to divide by 95. So we'll do that to both sides. So those cancel out, and we get m is less than negative 90 over 95. That's more or less your answer. It looks like they wanted you to simplify that, in which case you would just divide both of these by 5. So I think it turned into like negative 18 over 19 or something like that, if I recall. Khan Academy can sometimes be kind of picky, so sometimes, even though in my opinion this is the right number, it wants you to simplify it too, so that's annoying. So that's more or less the process. Like I said, I always think about just pretending it's equal sign and then just working through, doing the opposites to move variables to one side, numbers to the other, until you can get one by itself. Your other question though, boop, about when to do that sign flip, I'll show you with this one. So just a rando inequality I made up, same trick. Draw that line down the middle. We want to move all of our x's to one side, all of our numbers to the other. So let's say I subtract 5x from here. Those cancel. Subtract 5x from here. Negative 15x, subtract 5. I owe you more money, so this turns into negative 20x plus 15, less than negative 25. Same thing here. I'm going to subtract 15 from this side. Subtract 15 from this side. So now we're left with negative 20x is less than negative 25 minus 15. I get more negative again, negative 40. Here's the catch, and this is that special case. Whenever you have to multiply or divide to solve your problem by a negative number, like we have right here, we have negative 20x, so we're going to divide by negative 20. That case right there, where we're dividing or multiplying by a negative number, that's that special case where we have to flip this sign backwards. So negative 20x divided by negative 20, we get just x. But because we divided or multiplied by a negative number, this alligator is going to flip and eat this one. So x is now greater than negative 40 divided by negative 20, which is 2. Ta-da! So that's why in this example, we flipped the sign because we divided by negative. The example from over here, we had a positive number we divided by, so we didn't have to flip the sign. It's only multiplying or dividing. Like we subtracted a number and added a number. Those don't matter. It's just whenever you multiply. Ugh, my handwriting is terrible with this thing. Let's try it this way. Boop. Multiply. Oops. Ah! Or divide by a negative number. You swap. S3 app. You swap the inequality. Why that works? I don't know. It's one of those things I looked into a long time ago, and then I was like, I'm just gonna remember the rule. Math is kind of dumb like that sometimes. So situations like this, where it's a positive number you're multiplying or dividing, keep it the same. Situations like this, where that final step we had to multiply by a negative number, flip that sign. Hope that helped. You're crushing that con game, yo. Oh my gosh, if you have any other questions, like always, just let me know. Happy, what day is it? Monday. No, Tuesday. Yeah, happy Tuesday.